For this objective, let's try some decimal applications. And here's our first application. Global Life stock sold for $32.81 per share on Monday and for $33.87 per share on Tuesday. How much did the stock increase per share from Monday to Tuesday? And notice it did increase from $32.81 to $33.87. So to find how much there was of an increase, we will subtract these two numbers. So let's subtract these two stock prices, same stock, different days. How do we subtract decimal numbers? We line up decimal points as we've done here, and we subtract just as for whole numbers. So let's subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. 8 minus 8 is 0. I'll go ahead and place my decimal point in line with the other decimal points. 3 minus 2 is 1, and 3 minus 3 is 0. So there's my difference. What does it mean in terms of this application? It means the increase was $1.06 per share. That was our increase. By the way, how can you check? Add this number and this number, and you should get $33.87 or 33.87. Remember, you can check subtraction of decimal numbers by adding decimal numbers. Let's now try another application. Find the cost of 4 5/10 yards of fabric if the fabric is priced at $4.95 per yard. So we want the cost of 4 5/10 yards of fabric if the fabric is priced at $4.95 per yard. That means we multiply. So let's multiply to find that total cost. And we're multiplying 4 5/10 representing the 4 5/10 yards of fabric times 4 95/100. That's representing the cost per yard. How do we multiply decimals? We multiply just as for whole numbers. So let's do that first. Let's multiply as we're multiplying whole numbers. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 2 is 47. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. And remember, we called this a partial product. And now we'll go to this place. I'll insert 1 0, and now I'll think of multiplying 4 times 495, because I'm thinking of this as whole numbers. So 4 times 5 is 20. Write down the 0, carry the 2. 4 times 9, 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 is 38. 8, carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 plus 3 is 19. Here's my other partial product, so let's find the sum of these partial products. 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 0 is 7, 4 plus 8 is 12, carry the 1, 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12, carry the 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So now we've multiplied as if for whole numbers. Where do we place the decimal point in the product? Remember, this factor has 2 decimal places. This factor has 1 decimal place. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we place the decimal point in this product so that the product contains 3 decimal places. Where would the decimal point go so that the product contains 3 decimal places? Right here. So 22 decimal point 275, let's see, that's tenths, hundredths, thousands. So read correctly, this is 22 and 275 thousandths. We're talking about money here, so let's go ahead and round this to the nearest hundredth. This would be the nearest hundredth of a dollar, which would be to the nearest penny then. If I want to round to the nearest hundredth, I look at this digit, it's 5 or greater, so I add 1 to this digit, and rounded I would have 2, 2, decimal point, 2, and then 7 plus 1 is 8. So the amount for 4 5/10 yards of fabric is approximately, because we did round, $22.28. Now try some decimal applications on your own.